Well, like I said, the only thing I knew about the digital nomad thing was like years ago because it was being promoted for guys who wanted to travel, and that was like the precursor to the passport bro movement. Was the whole, you can be a digital nomad and travel and
while you're working. Yeah, the work from home, that's not new. It just became popular because of COVID. But
yeah, like, I think that was the precursor to passport bro, not the whole thing that you see now. So
yeah, once more people started working remote and started realizing, especially in certain spaces where you don't have to be in the U.S. depending on what your job is, you can do stuff like that. I thought about being a digital nomad in my field only because, in certain spaces I don't have to be in the U.S. to do my job. I can do it from anywhere. But I'm not going to say turned me off from it, but what made me like hold off on it for a second was once I started seeing like a flood of black women jumping on it.
Like I said, when I first heard about it, it was mostly men, not even black men. It was just a thing among men, especially I guess around the pandemic.
Yeah, IT people became digital.
Because you can't say the C word on YouTube anymore, I guess, for some reason, but whatever. But
I mean, it is what it is. Like if you were IT, digital, being a digital nomad was always an option. The issue not an issue, but once I saw it, that's always been a thing. But once IT opened up more so where you have people who don't have to have technical expertise, they just doing like the administrative stuff and the paperwork side, it did open up a door where you don't have to be home or in the U.S. to do that portion because, you're just doing administrative stuff. But when I started seeing a flood of black women jumping on being a digital nomad thing, it kind of made me like,
Well, I think for them, maybe it was just so they could be at home.
No, they were literally promoting digital nomads like travel the world, which is fine. I had no problem with it. But when they started promoting like these courses and classes for it, I was like, nah, I'm good.
Those courses? Well, no. So, anyway, like, the way I saw it was just a thing for guys and women, I guess, as well, to be able to travel, like basically have workations, because that's how I traveled. I always did workations. But except when my wife and I did stuff like anniversaries and stuff.
No, like and it's not wrong. But I think it's a great idea. I'm just saying, for me, in particular, what I wanted to do, I wanted to get more experience in my field before I, went that route. But at the same time, it was another. I can't remember her name. It was another black woman who was, she tried to quit everything to be a digital. She literally quit everything to be a digital nomad, and then she started making videos about how it wasn't all cracked up as it was to be.
But see, that's kind of different because now she's like a content creator. Like,
well,
the people like, and that's what I was saying about the passport bros. Like, the majority of them, move in silence. It's only the few vocal ones who call themselves the face of the passport bro, walking around with cameras everywhere that think they're they think they're the OGs and the shatas of the
well, I think you misunderstand what I'm saying though. Not like this particular person, they didn't become a content creator, they just posted a video saying, hey look, I'll try to be a digital nomad. These are the points that they don't tell you about doing that. Like her thing was like a cautionary tale, like look, just don't drop everything and try to become a digital nomad, because that's what a lot of people sometimes end up doing. They're like, oh, I can just be a digital nomad and do this all out, and it doesn't work that way. It's not just one of those things where you can drop everything and just do it, and that's usually what you see people doing. Now on the other side, you do have people who are content creators who are, I guess you would consider quote unquote digital nomads, which traditionally I wouldn't call them that.
I wouldn't call a content creator a digital nomad.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Unless they're like actually like doing like that stuff outside of the videos and stuff they make in.
No, if you're just traveling around making content,
it's sort of like how you got a bunch of people on Facebook now switching to professional mode and calling themselves digital creators when they don't actually even make videos. Like, they just do that just to have. I don't know why people do that. To me, that signals you're unemployed or you have a shit ass job. So you calling yourself a digital creator,
or you're very privileged. It's one of those three things. Either you have a shitty job, you have nothing going on with yourself.
Well, the ones I saw weren't the privileged ones. They weren't the privileged folks. Okay. They were the folks that were underemployed.
No, it's only those three. Only those three people. Only three kinds of people do that.
Now, I don't have anything against that version. The privileged ones who probably are actual like digital creators. Like my wife, like when places she's been traveling, like she's been meeting up with some of her European friends to do nothing to, you know, pretty much travel because they can do so. So yeah, kudos to them. Or like the dude, what was it, Matt from MySpace? I think pretty much that's all he does now is just travel and post his travel videos on Instagram. But no, it's, yeah, I mean, digital nomad isn't for everyone, and now I think the term is being abused like everything else when something gets a little notoriety. But the way as I essentially saw it was people who were working in, you know, like IT and stuff like that could afford to do that.
Yeah, that's usually what digital nomads are.
You know, remotely. But, you know, according to like some folks in the Passport Bro movement, you know, everyone else is an imposter other than him. You know, if they disagree with anything he says, because he's too fucking immature to realize that, you know, other people have different opinions besides him.
Nah, he did say some dumb shit though.
And wait, no, let me go off on him for a second, because I'm not going to talk about him anymore. You know, I said I wasn't going to do it in my short videos, so I'm just going to get this off. Like, I'm starting to call cap on him calling people feminists. Like, you know, when he said it about the chick in Brazil, I was like, yeah, because that shit was off. But now, nah. Like, a woman defending her country from misinformation that he's putting out is not an undercover feminist just because you putting out wrong information. And first of all, he's not even a fucking expert. He went there for a week, maybe 2 at the most, and started offering travel consultations and, you know, acting like he was an expert. He didn't even know where the fuck he was. Like, he was in Metro Cebu, and then he you know, flew over to Metro Manila, acting like it's one big city, not surprised that there's places like BGC, which are like very wealthy places, like comparable to like living somewhere like, you know, Manhattan or other places like that here. And I was like, oh yeah, they have modern area. I'm like, what the fuck did you think? Like, everything was gonna be a hut? Like, he's a fucking idiot. And like, I used to rock with him, but now I pretty much can't stand him, because if you're gonna be arrogant, at least be correct and arrogant, but don't be wrong and arrogant. And then anytime someone disagrees with you, they're a feminist, or they're a guy who's supposed to be a Passport Bro as well, now they're an imposter. So anyone that disagrees with them is either an imposter or a feminist. Got it. That's top-notch logical thinking there. I guess you get that from barber school.
No. I was going to say the whole thing about the village girl thing. When I
saw yeah, go ahead, because I mean, like I said, Mike's Philippine journeys is the only one I would trust with information like that. And he and a lot of other people like myself who've actually been to the Philippines know that province girls aren't necessarily better than city girls.
No, it's just dumb. So to sit here and say that the most pure women are the ones who live in the countryside and speak very little English.
And another thing, I don't mean to cut you off, but that's what the 50, 60-year-old white men say they go to the provinces looking for these young chicks, and they're like, oh yeah, the province girls, they're more traditional, and you know, they're better than the girls in Manila city. Like, shut your little incel wrinkled ass up. So he sounds like them. He sounds like the 50, 60-year-old white men that go to the Philippines and go to Dumaguete City, Iloilo, and places like that, and like, oh, I'm staying away from the city. I want to go to the provinces, get a provincia girl. That's what they call them. But yeah, go ahead, because that's just wrong.
Oh no, I just thought it was dumb. Like, I even said something like, you know, the whole, like, most of the women in the villages, or the provinces as they're called, they tend to have, they're the ones who tend to have a bunch of kids, have 2 or 3 kids.
Exactly, they definitely do. That's what Mike from Mike's Philippine Journeys even said. Like, a lot of them are, a lot of them are hot. A lot of them are hot in the pants because, you know, they think it's cool, and they're trying to be like what they see on TV and stuff like that, or what they think girls act like in the big cities. I was gonna go with the argument. It says a lot of them get married, and it's hard to get a divorce there, you know, and the dude. Oh, there is no divorce.
Right, that's what I'm saying. It's virtually impossible to get a divorce, and if the dude leaves or dies, they're stuck with the kids. And a lot of these girls, they tend to still be married to the dude, whether he's dealing with them or not. And a lot of times, it's the province girls who are working while the dude's sitting at home. So to make the argument that the province girls are more pure because they don't speak very good English and they have whatever the argument is, like, that's not true.
And that's sort of that's the very stuff that passport bros are fighting against. That whole concept that, you know, we're going after these uneducated,
vulnerable
women. Like, you're promoting the very stereotype that most passport bros are trying to fight against, which is, like I said, in those private Facebook groups for passport bros, we make fun of him and others like him. The other guy who I won't mention, but his little cringy ass incel friend that was following him in the Philippines.
I ain't gonna lie, bro. He did look like this.
Yo, he looks like a fucking incel, and I don't give a fuck. I hope he watches this. I don't give a shit.
He did look like a weed though. I ain't gonna lie.
He looked like a straight up incel, and like this nigga got famous for making a video that, you know, I showed you with him with his Thailand girl, talking about how much he loves her and he's about to marry her. She's like blushing. Next week, this nigga in the Philippines talking about, yeah, I'm you know, I got these bitches bathing me. Like, say word.
That's another thing though. Like, I don't understand what Gen Z anyway. Like, granted, I'm about to hit 30.
Well, you're a millennial, so
I know I'm millennial, but even some millennial dudes who do it. But I'm looking at these dudes like, bruh, if you still gotta tell the same BS shit you had to do over here, like, yeah, girl, I love you. You know I'm a wife you just to get some cootie. You's a lame, bro.
And then
like I'm sorry.
And you making brothers look bad. You sitting there, you know, doing a pillow talk to this chick, and then the next week you bouncing out, you fucking chicks in another country. Like, you making us look bad. Like, that's what I care. Like, exactly. I'm not dick policing. He can do what he wants. It's the fact that he's making the rest of us look bad by doing dumbass shit like that. And then they don't want criticism. Like, they get mad when anyone calls them out. Like, that nigga looks like a fucking cringe ass incel. And then Mr. Face of the movement, like, the way he moves is crazy. And then he always saying slick shit out of his mouth when someone disagrees with him, instead of just letting criticism roll off his back. Even the guy from Zoom to Thailand, Richie Mack, told him he was wrong for the thing in Brazil. He told him, he was like, how you gonna get mad at these people for, you know, defending their country? Because everyone else was defending the guy. But Richie Mack, he's an older, wiser guy. He was like, look, I understand, but he's like, you can't get mad at people for wanting to defend their country. You literally
went to another country and told the world all their women are whores. That's basically what you did, and then got mad about it.
And like, I get it. I understand what he was saying. When he was saying easy, he was saying they're easier to approach, easy to talk to, but it was a double entendre. Like, he also
you left it too open.
Like, he was like, get your passport, because it was a double entendre. Like, he meant both, but whatever.
Yeah, like I said, Gen Z needs to get punched in the mouth.
Yeah,
like that. I mean, that's like
Mike Tyson said. You know, the problem is, you know, too many people got comfortable on social media without getting punched in the face. So.
And before anybody says, "Well, you doing it too," I can fight.
and I addressed that in my short video. I can fight. I'm a knockmoy. I'm a Salvatore, and I'll you know, give me a ticket and I'll come knock your ass out. You know, so whatever. But he don't want it. Maybe he can fight with his barber clippers or something. Oh, you should be saying that. He's the face of the passport, bro. Man, fuck him. I mean, niggas under 25 just, no. I can't deal with y'all. Like, some of y'all need to get punched in the mouth, or go wrestle, or do some push-ups or some shit. Like, to his credit, he hits the gym, but he needs to get hit in the mouth too. So that's how I see it. But like I said, I'm not gonna talk about him anymore. But
so this is the last one?
This is officially the last one. I said it in my short video, but it's just stuff that keeps popping up. Like, and like I said, he had no reason to call out that girl Joanne. I think I said her name correctly, but you know, calling her a critic, I mean a feminist because she's defending her country. If you insult in someone's country, yeah, they're gonna feel some sort of way about it. That doesn't make them a feminist. And just because a guy disagrees with you doesn't mean he's an imposter. The dude probably been traveling before you even born. So I know I was. I literally was traveling before this ninja, was born. So anyway, that's all I'm gonna say about him. Did you have any?
Oh no, I'm good. I just found the shit funny.
I mean, it is funny, but
it is sad though.
Like I said, he's making the movement look bad. I mean, they were even talking about it on the Fung Brothers. So, and I love their stuff.
No, I'm just saying, it is a bad look for black men in general when you got, cornballs like this.
Like, we're fighting the very stuff that he's
promoting.
So,
but like I said, I already told you how I feel. Like Gen Z, and some millennials, a lot of millennials, but most of Gen Z are just trash. Like,
yeah, and see, this isn't coming from a Gen X guy, because you guys always saying there's only boomers and Gen X criticizing Gen Z.
I'm a true millennial.
He's a millennial, and even he doesn't like some of these guys, because
I'm a true millennial. Not though. Well, I was born in '99. No, no. I'm a real millennial. I was born in '93. I'm a real millennial. I don't like many millennials, and Gen Z's the worst. Gen Alpha.
Well, they're still young, so we don't know how they're gonna turn out yet.
Gen Alpha might be. I don't know. I mean, I got family members who are Gen Alpha. They seem okay. So far, most of the Gen Alphas I know that well, granted their family, they seem to be alright. They seem to be okay. But Gen Z is fucking stupid.
Yeah.
Gen Z is they're just fucking dumb.
Especially the one traveling that claims he was traveling before he started making YouTube content, but sitting there.
I will say this.
And a six-figure barber.
I was about to touch on that. I call cap on that.
But I call cap on that too, because
here's why.
Okay.
Here's why though. So actually mathematically, let's do this. Cause I don't pocket watch people. I really don't. However, I do have a problem when people try to pump up certain things, and that's factually wrong.
It just reminds me, like, during the height of Kevin Samuels, like, all these truck drivers were claiming they were six-figure earners.
Exactly, and I'm like, no, y'all not.
No, you're not. Unless you own a fleet of your own trucks.
And here's the thing: I have a family full of truck drivers. You're not making six figures as a truck driver unless you have your own truck, and usually you're going across country.
Yes. To
make six figures, you're not home. And you're talking about as a barber. Bro, if barbers would make if it was,
everyone would be jumping on it. That would be the new hood.
And usually barbers are the dudes who usually couldn't, usually got out of jail.
Yeah, because a lot of the jails actually have barber schools in them. So it's like that was usually the thing that dudes trying to get right used to do, so to speak.
So here's the thing: if you're making $100,000 at the minimum $100,000 a year as a barber, that means you have to make $385 7 days a week. So that means you're cutting hair from Sunday to Sunday and making $385. Now we're gonna go by the average price of a haircut. Let's say it's $30, right? That means for $30. No, I'm sorry, $30. Yeah, that means you're cutting
yams.
Like that's 10. Let's say 12. A minimum of 13 heads a day.
Like I said, unless he owns his own shop, or as you suggested, like doing celebrity haircuts, it doesn't add up.
I mean, if he is making that kind of money, more kudos to him. But again,
then why are you online e-begging?
Well, that I was about to touch on that too. Like you're 23 making six figures as a barber. I'm not knocking your hustle if he is.
That's what's up.
But if that's what you're doing, cool, do it. But
he has a whole video about it. I just didn't feel like.
But don't e-beg. But that's another thing. Even just have other content creators who e-beg, but you're making all this money. Like you can't be balling and e-begging. No.
Right.
You're no different than the women you talk about putting cash apps in their bio, in my opinion. But that's just my thing.
And like I said, I ask for money, but I rarely do it. I just say, hey, if people want to send me money to, like, because I have an app for, like, buy me coffee, where you can, people can actually send me money if they want to buy me coffee, or for other people's, like, buy them beer or whatever, or I'll put my cash app. I don't put it in the thing, but I do it in the description. But, like, I'm not into every video, I'm not saying make sure you support me because YouTube doesn't support my content. I fucking wonder why. Because, you know, a lot of other folks put out content and their shit doesn't get demonetized, so whatever.
I don't know, man. It's just weird out here. It's just weird out here.
Weird out in these streets. But I'm probably an imposter. Mind you, I'm a veteran and was traveling literally before the nigga was born, but I'm an imposter. And I'm sure my house overseas is fake too, and my overseas business is fake. Yeah, those are fake.
But yeah, I'm good. I just call cat when people try to bounce. It's no different when I look at hairdressers who's saying, yeah, I make, or women that say I make 6 figures, and you ask them what they do.
I do lashes.
Right. Like, and it's always cosmetics. Like, I don't know how many times I heard a black woman say, yeah, I'm making all this money, or I own a business. What you do? Oh, I got a boutique. You don't own a business. You just sell. You just got a website that sells other people's stuff. Like it's.
Well, if it's an online store, I'll give them that.
No,
if they actually move in merch, but
how?
I won't say they're an entrepreneur. That's what I'm
saying. The entrepreneurs are like.
I'll give them they have a business. I just won't call it an entrepreneur because an entrepreneur signifies that you've taken on significant risks for that business. Unless you are actually like taking on significant financial risks. Business is not.
But here's the thing: they're not making the clothing; it's not theirs. So basically, what I'm saying, like, so the way from what I've seen with these boutiques is these random women who, let's say, like 10 women got online boutiques, right?
Are they just glorified Jody from Baby Boy?
Pretty much. Like, it's pretty much all they're doing. Like, it's not their clothing line; they're selling other like very cheap. You know, women's clothing is already cheap anyway. Yeah. But that's all they're doing. And if you have like 10 women who got boutiques, y'all all selling the same clothing. Like literally the same brand, same clothing, everything. It's
like the dudes out on the streets all selling the same Muslim oils. They all got the little same.
Yeah.
They all got the little same Chewbacca belt.
Yep.
Hanging across the shoulder. So you want some of that new Armani black? Got it right here, son.
Right. That's what I'm saying. They all doing the same thing. So I know people who do hair. There's nothing wrong with it, but how many beauticians do we need? Yeah. Like, how many of you gonna become make generational wealth from being a beautician?
Oh, don't get me started with that. All right.
Or doing lashes or doing. But no, we need more nurses. That's what we need. We're bringing in nurses from the Philippines.
From the Philippines. And then another thing, and then they trying to say the women are uneducated. Most people don't even know it. Because of the dearth of teachers here in America, we're bringing teachers from the Philippines to America to teach our people. So.
Yep, and they have to know how to speak English.
What the fuck is she know? But anyway.
I don't know. Parking, I hope. Well, she is parking. Okay. But that's my point. Like, you know, yeah, that's all I had to say. It's just dumb out here. Like, people just dumb out here, bro.
Yeah, I was straining because I didn't want to put their names out there, but I'm pretty sure people know who I'm talking about, so. I said what I said, but I'm probably an imposter anyway, so it doesn't matter.
I guess I am too.
Right. I've never traveled in my life. I didn't literally go 9,000 miles overseas and get married and work and live in another country. That never happened because I'm here right now. So obviously I'm a fake guy. I'm an imposter. And these women that disagree, they're all feminists too. Yeah. But I'm just a contrarian.